In studio, Chris Watkins making his BYU Sports Nation debut, the head coach of BYU men's soccer. Chris, welcome to the set. I know you shaved. You're looking fresh. You got your BYU swag on. Did all of this go into your planning this morning?
Well, it did. We practiced early in the morning and had to make sure I looked a little more presentable. I know we're in HD now, so
yes.
a little more pressure.
It's all high def. We can see all of the flaws.
See everything.
Too much, I'm afraid.
So you're in a unique situation as the head coach of BYU men's soccer. You're a semi-pro team associated with a university, and I believe that is unique compared to any other team across the globe, really. How and why did that happen?
Well, it is unique. Certainly we're the only ones, and there's some talk about other schools potentially doing this. It's a challenge because we're in the summer. Most of our season's during the summer while the kids are off, at home. So it's a tough season to play. But yeah, it's unique, and I think a lot of people look at it, but don't do it. We have some students on campus that works at BYU, and for a lot of reasons, it makes sense for us. But I'm not sure we'll see a bunch of colleges jump on it.
So how does that help you with recruiting, or hurt you? Is that more appealing for a kid?
Yeah, well, recruiting before, we were winning 6-0 against local club teams. So I'm not sure recruits were looking at us like, hey, what a great place to go to. They're killing everybody. I mean, we were doing fine, but we weren't drawing the very top LDS kids. We were drawing a few of them, transfers back after missions, things. Where this is a real challenge. They know we're playing against great opponents, and so we do get great players. We don't get all the best LDS kids. We don't have scholarships, and so that has a big effect on that. But we do get a lot of them, and as such, we can be a pretty darn good team.
You play in the PDL, and I want to know how did this even become a conversation with the folks that run the league and BYU being affiliated with the university?
Yeah, so I played in the league. It's kind of like, imagine in baseball, they had all the minor leagues under one umbrella. So we play in the United Soccer Leagues, which is a similar association like baseball minor leagues would be. And so I played in that league, and so I knew about it, and I knew the PDL was kind of for the younger players in that league. And so we had won 7 club national championships, kind of like our rugby team. They're on a roll, and they could use a bigger challenge than they have. They're killing people who don't even know how to play rugby sometimes, right? Well, we were kind of in that same mold 10 years ago and 15 years ago. We were killing people at soccer, and we needed a better challenge. And so we found this, and it worked, and the university approved it, which was a big deal at the time, a really big deal. It was front page of the New York Times when it happened, believe it or not.
Yeah, I remember when that happened because it is such a unique scenario that you're making the New York Times. You're 7-0 this season, so you talk about killing teams. Well, you're still playing in a more competitive league. What's the ultimate goal now that you're playing in the PDL and you're undefeated?
Yeah, well, we've got to prove to be a winner in this league. We've won our conference once. We've second place a few times. We've been okay. But by BYU standards, and certainly by BYU soccer standards before this time, we'd lose maybe one game a year as a fluke.
Wow.
And now last year we were about 500 in our division. So we still have a long ways to go. We're doing well right now for sure, but we can get a lot better and need to get a lot better.
Coach, growing up, I was always known to choose for basketball, football, and baseball. Soccer was never really an option. Yeah, I'm just starting to come around now and watching a little bit more soccer, and it's getting a lot more popular in the U.S. What do you think has been the reason for that?
Well, I think MLS has something to do with it, but I think more than that, it's probably been the English Premier League available on TV.
Exposure,
highlights, exposure. I'm certain now kids similar to you would now be playing soccer over baseball.
Yes.
It's happening. I mean, the numbers prove it. We've got a nice presentation to show anyone who wants to see it.
Nice PowerPoint. I'd like to see
nice
that.
PowerPoint presentation that'll prove to anybody that soccer has easily leapfrogged in participation. Everyone.
Wow.
Everyone. Football, basketball, baseball, everyone. In viewership besides NFL football, the trend will take over everyone except NFL football pretty soon.
Coach,
Look out.
You convinced me because the other day my son he had a football, he was kicking it, and I was like, no, stop. Use your hands. You don't use your feet. Stop.
Yeah, he's on the right track. Smart kid.
After I see the PowerPoint and the stats, I may let him.
He could be a dual sport athlete, Brian. He could be the kicker in football and play soccer.
That's true. He could 20. That's like 40 years. Career being a kicker in the NFL.
That's right.
Okay, Chris Watkins, the head coach of BYU men's soccer. You also help out the women's soccer team quite a bit there with Jen Rockwood. Let's talk about soccer at the next level. You bring up the Premier League. The World Cup is this summer. I fell in love again. I played soccer growing up. I love the sport. Then it kind of became basketball for me. But when I went on my mission to South Korea, I was in South Korea during the World Cup in 2002.
Yeah, nice.
And I witnessed with my own eyes the spectacle that is the World Cup. I was blown away. What is it about the World Cup that creates that type of magic? Why is that event such a big deal for everybody in the world, maybe outside of the United States?
Yeah. And Dominican Republic and Canada. Everyone else.
And baseball. Yes.
And maybe
hockey.
Cuba, but everyone
You
else.
can throw Cuba in there. You can.
Yeah. I've been to a World Cup as well. It's hard to describe. If you haven't been in a soccer venue outside of the United States, and really Real Salt Lake's venue is incredible now too. But if you haven't been to a game, I mean, our perspective is a football game, or maybe we went to a great basketball game one time. But boy, the best football game. I was at BYU against Miami when I just came to BYU, just transferred over to BYU. It was an awesome game.
You witnessed the Ty Detmer?
I was at the game.
Wow.
Yep, I was one of those guys.
Okay.
Unbelievable game. But I've been to 40 international soccer games. That event is no better than the average international soccer game I've been to.
Really? Why?
So the passion. This is religion for everyone else,
Okay.
right? And for BYU football, it's a religion for a few people. We got a few hundred people that are dying for it, a few thousand people. But imagine the whole country. This is their hopes and dreams. To go to just travel to Mexico, stay in Cancun during the World Cup. You'll get a decent feel for it. The world stops for their national team and for some club teams as well.
This is amazing. I'm getting excited.
You ready for the World Cup, Brian?
I'm ready. It sounds like the happiest place on earth, like Disneyland.
Yes, even better than Disneyland.
You guys are making it like that.
I'm telling you what, in 2010, when the United States had to win that game against Algeria and Landon Donovan scored an extra time, I yelled so loud at my friend's house, I made their baby cry, and I didn't even feel bad about it. It really is. It's an amazing sport, the passion that goes with it. Are you aware of the BYU Sports Nation Karma, Coach?
I've heard of it. I've seen it on Twitter mentioned, but I'm not exactly familiar with it.
Okay, well, let's make you part of this institution that is BYU Sports Nation Karma. When you come on the show, you then take the karma back to your team, and you perform well because you have decided to come and talk to us on our show.
It comes out of Spencer's left bicep, so I'm going to touch it right now, and then I'm going to touch
I think I'd rather it
left
came out of
hand.
your bicep. You got more room in there, right?
Wow, hit the weight, Spencer.
We had to go there.
Hit the weight, Spencer.
Yeah, we had to go there. BYU Soccer, by the way, taking on the San Jose Earthquakes under 23 team at Southfield, 7 p.m. on Saturday, correct?
7:30.
7:30 p.m. start on Saturday. If they're not in attendance or you can't get to Provo, how do you get involved with BYU men's soccer?
Yeah. So it's on YouTube. All of our games are on YouTube, and KSL does a stream as well. So if you go to ksl.com, they have a stream. So we have pretty good coverage. The play-by-play, Rick Aaron does the play-by-play, does a great job. He used to be with Channel 13. Does a great job.
Local
So
Salt Lake
it's
station,
a great
yeah.
production. It's not quite what BYUtv would be.
Yeah, that's what we're going for.
But it is, for us, we're thrilled. It's been fantastic. But we're very visible with camps. Our camps, I think, are the biggest camp on campus. So your boy, you might want to send him to camp.
You convinced me. You convinced me without the PowerPoint, without the stats. You convinced
Well, just
me.
imagine with the PowerPoint.
No more football. Only soccer.
Chris Watkins, the head coach of BYU men's soccer on BYU Sports Nation. Coach, is there a game plan for Saturday? I mean, I know that I don't know how scouting goes in soccer. It's probably not as in-depth as football. Maybe it is. I don't know.
It's not. There's so little control over what happens during a game. Where football, there's a stop and play every 20 seconds or whatever. It's more of a general theory. Both our guys and girls, we have a philosophy. We want to stick with it and play through any of the ups and downs and the roller coaster that is the 90 minutes. But we know they're going to be good. I mean, they're affiliated with their first team, and so they're going to have resumes that look awesome. But we've got them at our home place, and we've got some good momentum right now. We expect to play well.
Do you have any superstitions? You were Coach Rockwood, who coaches the women's soccer team. Do you guys have any superstitions?
Yeah, Coach Rockwood has a lot more than I do. I'll tell you that much. She ties herself up before a game. She doesn't know what to do. So she's got a lot as far as what she wears. I don't have as many. When I was younger, I used to go out and play on the field before, kick the ball around a little bit.
Okay.
Now I don't do that as much. So I don't have a whole lot of suspicions, but I do. But I do make sure I tie my shoes exactly the same way.
Okay,
But a lot of
that
people
would
do
qualify, right?
Yeah, a lot of people do that, and I like to wear cleats during a game.
You wear cleats?
Yeah, I like to wear cleats. It's a little bit unique. In our league, you're supposed to wear a nice polo and nice pants. Otherwise, you get fined $50 a game.
And cleats.
And
cleats.
so I wear sweats and cleats.
Sweats and cleats.
And if the league sees it on TV, then I get fined $50 a game.
Is it worth it?
Well, I'm comfortable. So $50.
Bill Belichick.
Our budget isn't great, but we'll take the $50 hit.
This is our BYU Sports Nation Rise Up flag. All of our in-studio guests sign it. Would you please give us your autograph?
You bet.
And then go and enjoy that karma, my friend.
Thank you. We'll take anything we can get.
The under-23 San Jose Earthquakes. You can see that game again, 7:30 Eastern if you're in person at Southfield in Provo, Utah. Streamed on KSL.com. All the games, as Coach told us, are on YouTube.